What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a 4-game WNBA Sunday afternoon slate, 10K to first. But first, let's talk about today and Emily Inksler, the GOAT. I told everyone in the stream that even though she wasn't starting, I still was 100% locked on her. I played her in every lineup I played. I maxed the $1 20 max. I only played one lineup in the big contest. Obviously, I played Enrique, who had an absolute floor game. But I've seen so many messages in the Discord, already getting messages on her comments on YouTube. I hope you played her. 80% of the field and even more in the lower field stuff faded Emily Inksler, who put up 43 fantasy points. Just insane. I mentioned in the stream, even after Misha Hines-Allen was announced as a starter, I said there's a chance that with it being a groin injury that she aggravates it right away. Immediately. Game tips off. She aggravates her injury right away. Inksler comes in and pops immediately. Misha Hines-Allen actually come back into the game and played a little bit. But I mentioned beforehand that she wasn't going to play full run. She's not 100% healthy. I was going to die on that hill. I mentioned also how high I was on Nat Howard at her price. She started really bad, but ended up salvaging, having a good game. Stewie went absolutely nuclear, 64 fantasy points. JC Sheldon, I mentioned her as a value play. I haven't even talked about Stephanie Talbot, who went nuts as well. Had Emily Inksler not went for 40, we'd be talking about Talbot, who probably got close. She had to have been at 35. I don't know her exact score. I'd have to look at a couple of my lines in the 20 max, but should be just a huge night for the Discord. Everyone playing Inksler. Sucks that Enrique couldn't come through for us for it to really be a crazy night. Underdog drafts, I did 9 of them. I had Inksler in all of them. I did start a bunch of them with Enrique and Nat Howard. So those are pretty chalked. But man, I have one that I started with Stewie. So takedown watch over there. I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day to have a good day in WNBA DFS for sure. I definitely needed it after some really bad variants of late. But let's get into these 4 games. The odds were not up on DraftKings Sportsbook when I'm recording this. They only have 3 of 4 posted that I'm looking up, or that I looked up on my phone. Liberty at the Dream, 9.5 point favorites for the Liberty, 159.5 over under. Woof. Just no faith in the Dream to score. Sun at the Storm, Seattle is a 1.5 point favorite, over under 158.5. Fever at the Sky, Chicago 1.5 point favorites at home, 169.5 over under. Really good slate here. There is some news. Like obviously we're gonna have some more news coming tomorrow, but New York on a back to back. Dallas and Washington playing a back-to-back against each other. There's a lot to break down here, so let's start on the New York side. Obviously, I already mentioned Stewie. What she done today just went absolutely ballistic. John Quill didn't score that much. I mean, Stewie did all the scoring for him, but she was dominating on the peripheral stats. Sabrina was shooting the ball well. She cooled off, but I mean, when one of your players goes for over 60, it's really hard for the other ones to dominate the usage and put up big scores. I don't know if Benajelani and Sloot will be out here. I would expect Sloot to play, maybe Laney as well. It's something we'll have to wait on. Obviously, we'll have this news. It is one of the early games, so definitely be sure to be in the live stream tomorrow. It would change this team quite a bit if one or both are in. I'm expecting at least one to play tomorrow because they'll want to get geared back up they'll have an off day Monday, and then they'll have the Commissioner Cup Championship Tuesday night. And Slate will definitely need the conditioning to be up to play in that game. Obviously, if both of them are out, we can go right back to Phoebich. Thornton shot 95% from the field today. So if they're out, you can play her. Dochkic saw a decent run. You could play her if both of them are out. Obviously, if Slate and Laney are in, it's really hard to prioritize any of the value here. And both of them would look decent, assuming no minutes limits. Obviously, if they're out, we know the usage on the offense is just going to be run through Stewie, JJ, and Sabrina. So lots of things to digest on this slate for tomorrow. On the Atlanta side, Jordan Canada. I'm starting with her. She is available for Sunday's game versus the Liberty. Just come out. She's missed the entire season so far. I'm really excited to see her on this team. Sadly, Ryan Howard is not available, and that puts a big damper on this team and on this game in general. Canada should start immediately. Kills Haley Jones' fantasy value. Obviously, 5,700 was too steep to play her anyway. Even if Canada comes off the bench, I'm not paying 5,700 for Haley Jones with Canada back. Tina Charles, 9K, fine. Matchup is really tough, though. Pure tournament play. Alicia Gray, 8,600. Had another terrible shooting game, but the usage is insane with Ryan Howard off the floor. Still really like her at 8,600. Cheyenne Parker, just dead. Like, you can't play her. She's completely unplayable. She played 10 minutes in the first half, and DNP'd the second half. Did not touch the floor. Here you go, Cheyenne Parker. 0 second half minutes. She actually only played 9 minutes in the game. Wow, I don't know. There's some stuff going around this league. I don't know if Atlanta can call up Dallas and maybe make Cheyenne Parker for Big T trade. Might help both of them because both look like they got one foot out the door and they do not enjoy playing for the teams that they're on. Aerial power, 6,400. Fine. She only saw 20 minutes, which was kind of tilting. Shot 2 of 11. I had a decent fantasy game. Obviously, I expected more from her. The usage was there. The minutes weren't what I hoped they would be, but she's a fine play off the bench. Slight downgrade with Canada coming back, though. Just another player, another guard that could soak up some of her minutes. I already mentioned Haley Jones. Really, really tough to play her because without the volume of minutes, she's just not a good fantasy point per minute player. Nia Coffey, cool. If you think she's going to play well, you should absolutely play her. Best of luck guessing when she's going to play well or not. 4 fantasy points in 25 minutes. 35 fantasy points in 26 minutes. 1 in 10. So, good luck. On a 4-game slate, I will completely cross her out, and if she kills me, so be it. I don't care anymore. Atlanta, their rotations are a joke. They're adding Jordan Canada to this team, so the guard rotations could get thrown out of whack. The only player that I'm confident in playing, that I know will get run, is Alicia Gray. That is really it. Everyone else is a pure tournament play only, and a risky one at that. Naz Hillman, 4,600. 1 game after playing 11 minutes, plays 26 minutes. So make that make sense. Dangerfield, completely out of play with Jordan Canada back. She's not a good fantasy point per minute player. May not even crack the rotation now that Canada's back. You can play Kubaj. She should see a few minutes, but not a good fantasy point per minute player. Me here, not ever playing unless it's in the end of a game of a blowout. Second game of the day, Dallas, Washington. We just saw this. The game just ended. I wonder about Enrique and Nat. Both of them coming off injuries. Enrique just doesn't look healthy. I hate it. And I hate that they're actually running her out there and running her into the ground for a team that's just going nowhere. They've had so many injuries. I mean, Satu, before the season started, was hurt. Brown got hurt in game one. Howard got hurt in game one. She's finally back, and Maddie gets hurt, and she's out for at least 6 to 8 weeks. It might be time to shut Enrique down for a little bit just to get her healthy. But that is news we don't know about yet. If Enrique will sit or Nat Howard will sit on the back-to-back. Big T, completely unplayable right now. She played the first 2 minutes of the second half and never touched the floor again. She played 14 minutes total. She looked uninterested. She just didn't care. When she was out there, she did not play well, and they benched her. They did move Mo Billings to the bench for this game today. She played fine off the bench. Her scoring upside is just gone with Nat Howard back. I'm not paying $8,300 for her. She's a complete X out for me at that price, unless like Nat Howard is out or unless they just bench Big T and start Mo again. I just don't have any interest in paying that price tag for her unless, like I said, Howard is out or she takes over the starting spot from Big T, but I'm not expecting that. Uzan is fine, $6,200 on a 4-game slate. Don't think she's really needed. Kalani Brown didn't even get that much extra run with Big T getting benched. They went Nat Howard or Mo Billings as a small ball 5. JC Sheldon continues to play extremely well. She's once again one of the best values on the slate, $4,600. Almost just an auto play in my opinion. Birch, Lou, and Suarez just not anyone I'm really interested in playing there. For Washington, Atkins had a good peripheral game, did not score the ball very well today, but fine tournament play. We'll see about Edwards maybe playing tomorrow. I don't know if she's going to play or not. The lean is probably no because she did not practice at all on Friday, and then she was not out there at shoot-around today. Dolson, if Edwards is out, Dolson looks fantastic at 7-7. Big Mama Steph can still play. One thing you'll never have to question about Stephanie Dolson is effort. She will always give everything she's got, and that's why I will always respect her, and I will gladly pay this price for her if Edwards is out. Van Loo, really hard to trust, just not putting up enough shots, but a fine tournament play. Misha Hines-Allen, not for me. If Edwards is out and she starts again, I just don't think she's healthy. Just like I mentioned in the live stream earlier today, in the video last night, I just think she's out there just for a body, just to give Dolson a few minutes of blow on the sideline so she can get a little bit of a rest. Same with Inksler. Samuelson is solid, $6,500. Is about the highest that I'm willing to pay for her, but the matchup is great. If she hits some threes, she can easily pay that salary off. SWK is going to play decent minutes off the bench. Fine play at $4,500. Inksler, the GOAT, $4,300. If Edwards is out, I bet you we don't get her at 20% tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. She will be uber massive must-play chalk if Edwards or Hines. Maybe tomorrow Hines-Allen is out and Edwards plays. But Inksler would be a must-play if one of them is out, preferably Edwards, because we already know that Misha Hines-Allen just isn't going to play more than 18 to 20 minutes ever. So Melbourne, fine punt play. If you think the game blows out, she's going to get more run. She kind of popped at the end of the game today because of the blowout. No real interest in Dee Dee Richards. She just doesn't get enough playing time. Connecticut, Seattle. On the Connecticut side, Alyssa Thomas coming off of a rough game. The Aces, Asia dominated her in every facet of the game. 20 fantasy points. I was super disappointed with how Alyssa Thomas performed in that game. I'm expecting her to come back with a little bit of fire. I don't think she's a priority. Obviously, if Sloot and Laney are out, three of the best plays on the slate are the New York Big Three. But I do like playing AT in tournaments. She will be lower owned just because everyone's going to continue to go back to the New York Big Three for good reason. But AT has an extremely high ceiling. She's shown it, but she's not been very good of late, so the box score watchers will fade. This is the time where we can get her low owned, maybe get a 55 or a 60 bomb. Speaking of disappointments, Dewana Bonner, 31 minutes, 2 of 10 shooting, 14 fantasy points. Won't get much worse than that for her, so I like going back to her as a contrarian spin up. Bree Jones, 8,400. Price is great. Had a great game against the Aces. Only saw 28 minutes, but have no issues playing her here. 8,400 is a really good price for her. Carrington and Harris, both fine plays. Carrington, 7,300. I mentioned she gets up for the bigger games. She played well. She was probably the best player against the Aces. Shot 5 of 15, but grabbed some boards, got a couple steals, 19 real life points. Have no issues going back to her. Harris, pretty score independent of late. The peripheral stats are really inconsistent, but she's a fine play. She should get you around 20 fantasy points with the potential to get a little more. Olivia Nelson-Adota, if you think Bree Jones gets in foul trouble, but as you can see, she played 4 minutes last game. Against the good teams, they're not going to play their bench very much. I mentioned that as well in the video yesterday and in the live stream. And it proved to be absolutely factual, correct. Tiffany Mitchell played 23 minutes. She scored 2 fantasy points. Rachel Banham played 10 minutes. They played Tiffany Mitchell over 20 minutes, and Banham and Adota played 14 between the two of them, and that was mostly because of they played at the very end of the game when the starters were pulled. If you look, Adota played her only 3 minutes at the end of the game when they pulled the starters. They went Alyssa Thomas as the small ball 5 until they threw in the towel. Veronica Burton played her minutes at the end. Tiffany Mitchell and Rachel Banham were the only two that played when this game was any sort of competitive. So keep that in mind. This should be a really competitive game. I could see them running the exact same rotation because they kind of need this game. They've lost against the 2 other top teams, so they kind of need this one against Seattle. Pricing on the Seattle side, NECA, 9,900. All their plays sub 10K is really weird to see. NECA, really consistent. I mean, you just know what you're getting out of her. Have no issues playing her. Jewel Lloyd just not shot the ball well at all. I mean, 3 of 15 and 0 of 9. Single-digit fantasy points this last time out. Woof. In 34 minutes. That is insane. Another buy low candidate. Great tournament play. Ezzy, 9,700. I love me some Ezzy. I love this spot for her here. I love this price tag. I am in on Ezzy here. One of my favorite tournament plays for sure. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 9,200. Fine play. I don't mind the price tag. If you can get to her. I will tell you guys, Joel Lloyd will get the Dijonay defense. So keep that in mind. It is a slight downgrade to her there. Horston, 6,300. Fresh off 2 30 bombs back-to-back. Minutes have been really consistent. Don't mind that price tag for her. It seems a little bit low for the minutes that she's getting. Whitcomb, 4,300. Going to play low teens minutes. Needs to hit threes to hit value. Vivian's minutes are diminishing quick. She should get 2 rotations, maybe a third if she's playing well, but she has not been playing very well. Mercedes Russell, 3,800, just not for me. I think just like on the Connecticut side, I think in a close game, they're going to condense their rotation, run their main 4, and more than likely Horston for the majority of this game. And it should be a fun one to watch for sure. But the main event of the evening, and I haven't even mentioned, they're doing a $20,000 to first showdown for this game here, which is wild. They're doing a higher payout to first for the showdown than the actual 4-game slate, but I'm here for it. On the Indiana side, Caitlin Clark, 10K. Down game, 11 peripheral stats, 16 fantasy points. Shot 6 of 12. Down game, 32 fantasy points. I can live with that. At 10K, obviously big upside. I mean, she put up 50 against Chicago last time out. She always has a little extra juice when facing Angel Reese. It's not a rivalry. She just wants to win. I mean, she's a winner, and that's what she wants, and the media drives that up a little bit more than they probably should. Leah Boston, 9,500. Love the price tag on her. Coming off 2 downer games from the 42, 49, 52. Only took 5 shots. She's fine. Played 26 minutes. Was limited due to foul trouble. So I would expect her to play high 30s minutes, assuming no foul trouble. And, I mean, she can pop. She's shown it against Chicago. That's where you attack them, is down low. So I have no issues playing Boston here. Same as I have no issues playing Alyssa Smith. She went for 30 against them in 30 minutes, and she had some foul concerns. She missed a few minutes in that game. So, like Melissa, I'm assuming Fagbinlay's still going to be out. She has not practiced yet. She's still probably a week or so out, in my opinion. Kelsey Mitchell, 8,200. Pitched in some peripheral stats here. 18 real-life points. Shot the ball well. If you think she scores 18 to 24 real-life points, she's in play. 8,200 is a bit steep because if she scores 8 to 15 real-life points, she's going to put up a 12 or 20 bomb and really sink your lineup. Christy Wallace, 5,100. Minutes are ticking down. Really hard to trust. Erica Wheeler got extended a little bit this last game. Just like with Atlanta, it's super hard to trust these guards for Indiana. Like, I don't know what to say. Wheeler, minutes were down. Now they're back up. Lexi Hull, minutes were up. Now they're back down. She played 11 minutes last time out, but it wouldn't shock me if she's back to 8 the next game. Or it wouldn't shock me if she goes back up to 18. Katie Lou is fine. She's going to play 15 to 20 minutes pretty much every night. She's a good 3-point shooter. If she gets you some peripheral stats, she can easily pay off that salary. No interest in Berger, Taylor, or Saxton. They're just not playing at all. On the Chicago side, Angel Reese, 10.5K. Fresh off almost a 50 burger. She's just been on another level lately. She's been playing extremely well. Great matchup for her here. 33.5 the last time they played. She will go right at Alyssa Smith. I'm really excited for this game. I don't mind paying up to get Angel Reese. I don't think she's going to be that popular. I think she's a fantastic tournament play with big upside because just like Caitlin Clark wants to win this game, Angel Reese will want to win this game. Marina Mabry, 9,100, fantastic tournament play. The shot attempts are back. She's shooting the ball with confidence again. I don't mind her here at all. Kennedy Carter, 8K. Assuming she stays in the starting lineup, I have zero issues playing her. We all know the ceiling that she has. She's pretty much a fantasy point per minute player with upside to really pop a slate, and she hasn't really done it since this game against Washington or this first game against Indiana when she played off the bench and we all just lost our minds and the Discord just went crazy that day. Camila Cardosa, 7,900. Think the price is solid for her. She's been really good besides a couple games. But they're going to need her out there to guard Boston. Last time out against Indiana, she played 35 minutes, 29 fantasy points. She had a fantastic first half, really slowed in the second half, but as her conditioning gets better, I think she'll be fine in the second half, and probably the fantasy points will go up for the second half, because even this game against Dallas, the second half, her fantasy points were not the best. Dana Evans, 6,700. She's fine. 26 fantasy points. She pitched in pretty much everywhere. Shot 1 of 5, but 10 of 10 from the free throw line. She's fairly safe, even coming off the bench. She's a good three-point shooter. Going to get you some peripheral stats. Izzy Harrison, 5,200. Minutes are safe, around 12 to 15, with the potential to play a little bit more if she's playing well. I just don't think she's needed on this slate. Lindsey Allen starting, playing 15 minutes. She did not play very well last time. Did not get extended, but has the potential to see 27 minutes. Maybe safe range, 18 to 20, I would say. Not a good fantasy point per minute player, but at that price point, you can take shots on her. Diamond DeShields, 4,500. Not for me. I do not think she is ever needed on this slate. Wnba, Kiersey, and Bree Turner, just not players I'm interested in playing on this big 4-game slate. Just think there's way too many options out there for you to ever consider those. And I'm sure there's going to be value plays open up with multiple teams on back-to-backs. But if you don't want to miss any of the news, catch the live stream tomorrow before lock. I'll be live 1:30 Central Time, 30 minutes before the game, the lock of the slate, answering questions, breaking down my thoughts on all these games, the updated news, whatever. But if you enjoy the content, leave a like. Helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. On the road to 500. Loving the growth. But good luck to everybody, and we'll see you in the live stream.